So here we have my Shuttle SS30G2, which some of you who recognize your shuttles may think this is not actually that machine, but in fact, it's a motherboard. It's had its motherboard swapped, so this is some weird amalgamation of parts. And what I wanted to do today, as you can probably see here, is try and upgrade the CPU before this thing goes to VCF West. So what I have here is a Core 2 Duo E4500, which this motherboard claims to be compatible with. Now, it said on Shuttle's website that only BOM 14 boards or newer have compatibility with the Core 2 Duo. Sadly, I didn't see that before buying this, but thankfully this is only like $5. So even if it doesn't work, good to have another CPU in the parts bin, so to speak, just in case. But I want to try it anyway, because what's currently in here is a Pentium dual-core E2180, and both it and this Core 2 Duo have the same codename, Allendale, and for all intents and purposes should be the same architecture, so who knows if Shuttle's lying or if this will work, because for good example, it has a compatibility list for video cards, and I can tell you right now the video card in here is not on their compatibility list. I did also try an E4600, which is basically the same chip, just with a slightly higher clock speed, and that did not work. So I'm just going to go ahead and try it. Might as well. We'll see what happens. And if it doesn't, fair play. So let's get this thing open. And now you'll get to see the thing I call the abomination. And when I said I didn't exactly put a compatible GPU in here, this is a GT640, and it's a pretty potato video card by Windows 7 era standards. But for Windows XP, which is what this system runs, pretty decent. It doesn't run super hot, but it does run hot enough to need some form of active cooling on it. So I modeled up this 3D printed kind of shroud for it, and we'll show that off in just a moment here once I get it all unhooked. Go. And there it is. It's kind of janky, but guess what? It gets the job done, and that's all I really care about. I would like to get a more fit-for-purpose card for this, but the only other one I have is like an 8400 GS, and that runs like absolute garbage. We have a Sound Blaster Live in here because the onboard sound does not work for some reason, and I'm not sure why that is. So we can kind of get to the CPU from here, but we still need to do a little bit more work. There we go. And I like to just dangle that out there because we don't really need to go too much further. So let's get this fan off here. 4 thumb screws holding it in, which is a very interesting design choice. And then out this comes. And now this part, which I only have finger tight because it doesn't really need to be any tighter. So I'm going to try and preserve this because I'm probably going to be putting this back in here. And this system will take down to a Pentium 4, so if I was truly masochistic, I could go that route, but I am not going to. So, crack open that bad boy, and just get a confirmation. It is indeed an E4500. So, if this works, this will be the best chip that would just slot in here. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not even going to put the fan back in, because if I see a post screen, I know it was successful, and that's pretty much it. All I need to see. There we go. We are in. The residual paste should be enough. Alright, and now all I have to do is just set this back in place. I'm not going to put it all the way back in. Let's get hooked up and see if it works. Alright, here goes nothing. Hopefully it works. Oh my god, it actually works. I'm gonna be mad that there's no CPU fan, but hey, it actually works. We got a post. So turn it off because there is no active cooling on it. So that's really interesting because looking at the markings that Shuttle tells you to look for, this apparently is a BOM 11 or BOM 11 board. This shouldn't be compatible unless Shuttle is counting backwards and 11 is newer than 14 in this case. But I can't see that being the case. So there must be just enough difference for the E4600 to not work, but the E4500 does. I am on the newest BIOS too, so that probably helps, but it works. I'm gonna get it all buttoned up and we'll see if it continues to work. Oh hell yeah, there it is. So I'm actually gonna go F1 to continue, which might have been the worst idea ever, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is going to be at VCF West. This is the thing that's going to pop up whenever somebody starts the machine up. And this is why I wanted to go into BIOS, but kind of messed up because I was trying to install the drivers for the built-in audio stuff, which doesn't work. So I need to go and disable that again. But hey, we're in. And my computer properties, there it is. An E4500. See how we're doing temp-wise here. So there's no way this is going to be anywhere near as bad as the Core 2 Extreme build that I'm also bringing to VCF because, yeah, I did not know that was a Core 2 Extreme machine even though my notes told me so. Yeah, that case is not meant for a CPU that power hungry and it was overheating pretty bad. I had to downgrade it to a Q6700 because that runs a lot cooler. So I'm going to leave this running and we're going to test it out by playing some UT 2004. And I'm going to spare you guys the details here, but I'm just going to let this run for like 10 minutes to kind of let it get heat soaked, and we'll see where the temps are. Alright, this has been running for 15 minutes. HW monitor has been in the background, so we'll be able to see like the highs that it's recorded. So, yeah, the Core 2 Duo did not get very hot. 60 Celsius. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And if we scroll down, see just how effective the Abomination has been. Very frosty 46 Celsius. So that's definitely doing the work that it needs to do. So that's pretty much it. That's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this little kind of divergence. And if you're going to VCF West this year, well, I hope to see you there. So till then, I'll see you guys later.